Hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Tube. This is review of the Last of Us trailer number 3. With me today is my good friend from across the ocean, cousin Cheeto. How you doing today, my friend?
Doing okay. Looking to see. I am a fan of Pedro Pascal, so I'm looking to see if this will draw me into watching the series or not, because I am not familiar with Last of Us. I've never played the games. I know of them, and I know of some issues. I know it's about a guy and a girl going across the U.S., I believe, or at least part of the U.S. So I know that stuff, like the basic stuff, but I've never played the games. Yeah, so I'm kind of looking to see if this is actually going to pique my interest.
Okay, I have played the games, and the start of the Last of Us, the game, is one of the best intros to a game of all time. I personally think it's the best intro to a game because because the thing is that I mean, especially if you're a father, this will probably hit you a little bit differently than it probably hits me because I'm not one. But the fact that this guy gets woken up by his kid and his kid's afraid, and these different things going on. And again, if you know what's the intro to The Last of Us, never mind the rest of the game. What's the intro to The Last of Us? It is phenomenal. Um, I hate the fact people call it a zombie thing. It's not a zombie; it's infection. But and I think that it's rather precedent because given the corona thing about something that gets into your immune system and changes you. It's not the same way that corona does, but it's kind of like an infection sort of thing, and it kind of takes over your mind. That kind of like loss of agency is all about what Last of Us is about, and there's other themes in it that we'll probably get into. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this trailer.
All right, well, let's jump into it.
If you
HBO.
don't think there's hope for the world,
This is the
why
way.
bother going on?
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, are those
That's a clicker, yeah.
Yeah, I say the
Keep
clickers.
going for family.
I've heard of those.
I'm not family.
No. Your cargo.
Ooh. Cargo.
Why are you so important?
Somewhere out west, they're working on a cure. I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
If she so much as twitches.
See, that's the thing that it has humour in it. I spent the guys who made Chernobyl, which was a phenomenal series. Did you ever see that, Cheeto?
I did not know.
No, you should watch it. It's really good.
If I'm taking
That's what's giving me hope about this.
do what I say when I say it. Got any advice on the best way west?
Yeah, go east. You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You're not gonna scare us.
Scared him?
Horses.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined. Be careful who you put your faith in.
You might not be her father, but you were someone's.
You trust me?
Scary. All right. Boss man, take it away. We'll go back to the beginning and you can kind of walk us through some of this.
So, how much do you mind me spoiling a little bit of what happens in the games?
Oh, I don't care. I probably will never play it. So go ahead
right.
and spoil what's in the games. I don't care.
So basically, there is an infection. Actually, this is like based on real life. This is not like some weird out there fantasy. These things actually exist in real life. It's called cocopets, I think it is. I don't know how to pronounce it. Now, these things exist in real life. They're like spores that attach themselves to ants and take over their brain. They're like a fungus that takes over the brain. So like the spores
I've
take
heard
over.
I've heard of it. The zombie ants. I've heard of it.
Yeah, so that's basically what's happening here. Is that because there is apes that ate it, and then those apes, because we share DNA with it, transferred it to humans, and basically that's what's going on. That's
Yeah, I
what
don't think
those
there's a
things.
good
And
shot
basically,
in the beginning here of. I have heard of clickers though. I have heard of clickers
yeah,
before.
their stage. I think it's like stage 3. I would say because stage 1 is the runners. Then it goes to stalkers, which are like kind of got things on it, but they're still the head still evolved. The clickers are the ones with like the head sort of like parted, and then the stage 4 is the bloaters, which is the thing at the end. So, so let's go back to the very beginning.
Here or
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So I think that's very impressive. I mean, I don't know if that's the stage or is that CGI.
well,
Or
how many years does this part like this the main story take place after like the infection takes hold? Because
if it's the
with
same
the
as the games, I think it's about 7.
7, that's it.
I think it's about 7
Like
or 8. Yeah.
okay, because with the amount of what we got going on here, it looks like it's been like 100 years. So, and I didn't
No.
think it would have been 100 years.
No,
but
because Joel, the character that Pedro Pascal's playing, he was like, see, I'm trying not to spoil it too much. He's basically like he was a father beforehand, and something happened to his kid, basically.
yeah, I think I've heard about that where and then he finds Ellie, who is kind of then his adopted daughter, and she's
Yeah.
immune to the infection,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
Because
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, she was bit, and she's still never changed, if I remember
Correct.
correctly. As I said,
Correct.
I know some of this stuff. I know some of the major stuff. I don't know detailed stuff, but there is some stuff that I do know from this.
Yeah. So that's basically it.
I feel like there's way too much dystopian here for it to be only 7 years. I mean, especially this imagery here, like there's way too much overgrowth for it to be only 7 years. I'm sorry. Like if I feel like this is like
something like that. I think I'm not too sure. I'd have to look up how from the game. I think it's 7. Just give me 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. I'm just going to Google it.
Another thing I'll bring up while you're looking that up, there's a lot more humans around than I thought there would be. I mean, I didn't think it would just be her and Ellie and Joel, but I really thought that there wouldn't be as many humans in this as there are. I thought it'd be more infected, like kind of like what's the movie with Will Smith? Why am I losing the name? I Am Legend. Where there's the majority of the people are gone. It's just a small handful of people.
I was wrong. 20 years.
20 years? Okay. That's from the first one. I thought Ellie was pretty young in the first one.
No, Ellie is as in like it's 20 years from the start of the infection to now.
Oh, okay.
So this is 20 years after the infection.
But I thought he picked up Ellie. So he picked up Ellie. So Ellie was born after the infection?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. I kind of like this actress they have though. She's kind of endearing, kind of funny, kind of, yeah, right there. Like
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that I like the fact that it has comedy in it because after The Walking Dead has drained all the kind of joy out of zombie flicks, even though I don't think this is a zombie flick, but like out of this sort of thing, it's kind of good to have it back with kind of like a comedic performance in its lead and kind of like just natural humor. But I also like the fact there's tension in it and feeling tense. Like when they're walking up the stairs slowly and kind of like that, and it kind of feels
like,
tense.
I'm sorry. Here's the thing about this trailer is that I really have a hard time believing that this is even 20 years. Like, okay, maybe 20 years, but I feel like this is like Horizon Forbidden West. Like it's been hundreds of years with all this type of this type of overgrowth. I mean, you got trees on top of buildings. Like, you know how long it would take for an actual tree to grow on top of a building? Who's the lady? Is this somebody from the game too, or is this
Yes? Yes. If it's going on similar similar path to the game. Yes,
Okay.
she's like Joel's partner, but not romantic
Okay.
partner, but kind of like friend. Like, he goes kind of because kind of he's still like they kind of have a quasi WarMax going on. It's kind of it's hard to explain.
Gotcha. And I mean, as I said, there's a lot more people in this trailer than I thought
Yeah,
there
because
would
like,
be.
but again, like some of the people are bad people. It's kind of like The Walking Dead in that aspect. That there's some people who were like bad.
Okay, so
like,
they're bad people. I mean, I get that, but so I mean, we got more dystopian stuff, and they're meeting more people, and I don't know. I mean, I if you want to jump in at any point here, I mean, I'm trying to just kind of get through this.
yeah, I like the fact that people are saying like, "Oh, she's special" and stuff like that, and I like the fact that we're seeing different landscapes. It's just not the urban cities, like the frozen tundra, the forests and stuff like that. I'm liking that. I'm kind of liking this sort of like the burning buildings and stuff like that. I like that because that reminds me a lot of the start of the game. Because that's basically what happens at the start of the game.
Everything kind of goes haywire.
Yeah. So as I said, the biggest advice I'd ever say to you, and probably this will get you to play the game, is watch. If you've ever just watch it on YouTube with no commentary, watch the entire start of the game.
Okay.
Just because
it's not the fact that I don't think the game is good. I'm not big into like zombie horror, and I know you said it's not zombie. I know it's not zombie, but like that horror, like flesh eating monster. Like, I'm not into any of that. Like, I can't get into any of that.
No, but again, I would still say it is good. I mean, even I know that you're not a big horror fan, but even still, I think as a non-horror fan, you'd enjoy it. Like,
So
I love this. I love like the kind of it kind of reminds me of like Dawn of the Dead a little bit. Kind of like the fact they're in a like wrecked mall and stuff like that. That kind of reminds me of that.
So it's fun. It's funny that the electricity's working. I don't know what. I don't know, who is this guy? Do we know or no?
No, it could be one of Ellie's friends.
Okay. Here we go. This is what is his name from the off?
Ray Wilson.
Yeah. So that's yeah. I mean, is he any specific character that you know of, or he's actually a pretty good actor. I actually really like him.
I don't know because he could be playing like he could be playing one of the bad guys.
Okay. Well, I mean, it kind of looks like it. So we got more Pedro Pascal and Ellie.
I love that scene. I love that the kind of like the explosion and kind of people running away, kind of like that. I love that.
Well, I'm assuming this is probably where it looks like everything's still normal. So I'm assuming this is at the beginning when everything's going to shit.
Yeah. So this reminds me kind of like of Cloverfield a little bit.
Yeah. More shenanigans. Do you trust me? Whoever these guys are. As I said, there's a lot of humans.
These are like bad guys. They could be like the main group of bad guys that chase. Like,
So,
that's one of the affected.
Okay, so that's like one of the stage 1 ones you were talking about.
Yeah. Because he doesn't have any of the things that comes with stage 2.
I mean, that looks like it has. I don't know. That one looks like it's got like weird. Not that one. The other one. This one here. It kind of looks like it's heads
that's stage 2.
Phase 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the title card, Last of Us, and then there's your boy.
That's a bloater.
That's a what?
Bloater.
A bloater?
Yeah. So they're basically the final form. So they're basically like covered in all like the plant.
So that might be like the first infected or something like that.
No, they're the last infected. No, because they're ones who've like because it lasts for a year. It lasts for about 2 or 3 years. So like, so stage 1 is run away. You run at people, bite them. Then stage 2 after that is you get like little bits of it, and then stage 3 is the one where you get the one. It's about a year later you get that. Stage, I think it's 2 or 3. Year 2 or 3, you get that, and then after that you die.
Oh, okay. So you actually do die.
Yes. It takes a year.
But I figured this guy would be. Yeah, he's in stage 4, but I mean he's been infected longer because he's in stage 4. You have to have so that's probably one of the older ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, explodey head. All right, but that's kind of it. not gonna lie, it piques my interest a little bit. Pedro Pascal, of course, is not, and the girl looks pretty endearing. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I might check this out. What are your thoughts, Boss Man, as being the Last of Us player amongst us?
I think it looks amazing because
Okay.
again, because it kind of it's in funk of the games, like the kind of like sort of like plant-ridden kind of like back to nature aspects. I know that's where your complaints that it looks too
Dystopian for
to plant-ridden for like 20 years later. I get you, but kind of I like that. I like the fact that that's probably what would happen in like 20 years if humanity stopped just completely.
maybe. As I said, I don't know.
But I think it looks amazing. I think that it has a humorous aspect to it. Like it's not all going to be like doom and gloom. Because I think if it was like that, it would chase a lot of people who aren't. Because the game isn't like that. The game does have a bit of humor about it. I mean, yeah, there's some nihilistic aspects to it, but there's also a lot of like humor. Like their relationship is really cool. And I like the fact that they're leaning into that, and I like the fact that like they're showing the intro of it. They're showing like the destruction, like where it's come from. And I think that'll be. I think the first episode is going to knock it out of the park. I'm actually kind of called that right now. If I'm wrong about this, you can shout at me. You can clip this and say you were so wrong. But I think that the first episode is going to knock it out of the park. And I think it's just so good that they've actually, they're not going zombies, they're going, this is the 4 stages and kind of like, but also the bad humans, the interaction with that, like the kind of that people are chasing after Ellie, she's a very important person. To go after all aspects that's really good about the game, the themes in the game, about loss, about redemption, about like, caring, about, friendship, about like, relationships, about,
about wankas.
Pardon?
I said about wankas.
Yes, exactly. Right. It's fine. No, about how humanity can sometimes have bad people in it. When we go back to and that's what I like about it. It is that Joel isn't necessarily a bad person, but he's not a good person either. He's kind of is he fully developed human being, and I'm hoping we're going to get that from the performance. And as I said, I love the actress they got for Ellie, and apparently the actress who played Ellie in the game is coming back as her mum, which is always
really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, nice.
Ashley Johnson.
I like those little callbacks that like you don't know if you don't know. You know what I mean? Like those little callbacks are nice.
And apparently Nolan North is going to be one of the actors playing one of the bad guys, probably.
Yeah, Nolan North played Joel, right?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so it's just going to be good just to see. As I said, the thing about The Last of Us is that again the whole thing with the spores and stuff like that, and like what that means for humanity.
Okay. Well, go ahead, take us home, boss man.
Okay, so I'm would all right. As somebody who hasn't played the franchise, I suppose I'll leave the last question for yourself. Would you be interested in watching this series as a non-fan? I mean, you said it's piqued your interest. Would you actually watch it?
I might give it a watch. As I said, if it doesn't hold my interest past 1 or 2 episodes, then I won't, because I'll be easy to give it up. You know what I mean? But like, I like Pedro Pascal. It seems like I like the girl Ellie. I just don't like the horror genre in the suspense and even though it's not zombie, it seems very zombie. And I get that it's not zombie technically, but it still is within that zombie like franchise in my opinion. But no, I'll give it a shot. I mean, as I said, there's enough here for me to at least check it out.
Okay. Thank you very much, and please like and subscribe. We're the channel that you kind of sort of heard of at this point. Bye.